This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 3rd day of December in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley, and here's what we're tracking tonight. With neighboring Brazil going on high alert following the discovery of the new Omicron coronavirus variant there, Guyana's Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, is encouraging Guyanese to keep following the COVID-19 rules and recommendations to safeguard themselves against the new variant. There has been no confirmed case of the new variant in Guyana or the English-speaking Caribbean, but many countries are taking precautions as details of the variant are still being analyzed. During his daily COVID-19 update today, the Minister of Health said he would encourage persons to safeguard themselves by getting vaccinated and following all of the existing and established COVID-19 protocols.
People ought to take precautions and make sure that couple of things. One, that they wear their mask, especially when they're in public spaces and especially when they're in indoor environments. So you need to wear masks, observe social distancing, sanitize. These are all things that would help to prevent spread. And if you are going into indoor environments, make sure that it's properly ventilated so that you don't have air circulating constant, the airflow must be there. You don't want to be in an environment where the air has stagnated.
The health minister also reminded that like the other variants, the new Omicron variant is not only spread by droplets, but could also remain in the air in enclosed environments. He said persons should ensure there is constant airflow. Additionally, the Minister of Health said that while information is still being gathered and analyzed about the new variant and its severity, it remains important for persons to get vaccinated.
So if you didn't have a first dose, make sure you go and get your first dose. If you had a first dose but didn't go back for your second dose, make sure you do so. Go and get your second dose.
Based on information being provided by the scientists studying the new variant worldwide, its symptoms are very similar to the other COVID-19 variants, including the deadly Delta variant. Most cases of the new variant so far appear to be mild, according to the World Health Organization. However, attention is being made to the makeup of the variant and whether it can bypass immunity.
It's similar. So far from all the findings that we're hearing about, persons would probably experience some amount of fever. They would have runny nose, sneezing. Some people would lose their sense of taste, sense of smell, and so forth. So all those typical signs that we already associate with COVID, those are the typical signs that you have to look out for.
The new COVID-19 variant was first discovered by South African scientists and has since been detected in several countries around the world. More news coming up in just a moment.
I'm feeling it! You know it? That Christmassy feeling? Friend, I'm ready for everything. All the decorations and lights. Bring on all the Christmas goodness. And I heard GTT is giving away millions in cash and prizes for the season. It just doesn't get any better. Multiple draws, multiple chances to win, live radio giveaways of cash, grocery vouchers, phone credit, and more. Free data, free calls, and free accessories with the purchase of every handset. Sign up, top up, pay any GTT bill or purchase a handset to get a chance to celebrate with GTT and MMG. Together we celebrate, together we win. GTT, together we rise.
The light on your face, no mask will hide.
Feel the joy burn deep inside.
Let's have a great Christmas this year.
You, me, and Republic Bank, my dear.
Whatever you need, light up your Christmas with Republic Bank and get a chance to win $825,000 in cash prizes. Plus, get a chance to give a family a Christmas hamper in your name. Log on to republicguyana.com for more details. Let's light up Christmas.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Guyana, it's finally here! You can now shop online in Guyana using your Visa, MasterCard, or PayPal, and have the items delivered to your door within hours. Shop on Fizarro.com and never deal with the hassle of shopping again. Shop from electronics, beauty products, clothing, you name it. Fizarro, Guyana's premier e-commerce marketplace.
Need a doctor or a convenient and cost-effective way to manage and improve your health? Call us at 233-2362 and let us take care of you. No need to leave your home. We will come to you. Get a doctor visit, COVID test, physiotherapy, blood draw, and counseling in the comfort of your own home. Call us at 233-2362 or WhatsApp us at 624-0659. Convenient healthcare from the name you know and the doctors you trust.
Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
Let GBTI make your dreams of owning a home a reality. Buy or build your home with us. Let us help you to completely outfit your home and make it move-in ready. Need to purchase land? We finance that too. Benefit from our 10% down payment and interest rates as low as 4.25%. Calculated on the reducing balance with up to 30 years to repay. Switch your mortgage to us and learn about benefiting from the equity in your home. Invest wisely. Apply online or call your branch to schedule an appointment. GBTI. We see Guyana through your eyes.
Welcome back. With a slowdown in the vaccination rate of children between the ages of 12 and 17 years old and the vaccination for younger children yet to begin, the Minister of Education Priya Manik-Chan has made it clear that unvaccinated children will not be blocked from attending classes. Less than 30% of children between the ages of 12 and 17 years old have been vaccinated, with thousands of parents deciding against having their children inoculated against COVID-19. The Minister of Education today said vaccination remains voluntary and children cannot be denied their education for not being vaccinated.
From the beginning, we said that vaccination against COVID-19 of persons in this country would be purely voluntary. We went further and we were very clear that children would not be denied their education because of a failure or refusal to take the vaccine. And that can be compared to other Caribbean countries where some countries were saying only vaccinated children can come into school. Initially, they've since changed their position. Guyana has always been consistent in this position that children, while we encourage everyone to get the vaccine and while we gave the space and time for kids to get vaccinated, nobody would be denied an education because they did not take the vaccine. In other words, the vaccine was never mandatory.
The minister's statement came in response to reports coming out of Region 7 that unvaccinated children were being prevented from attending classes and from accessing their dorms. The minister said she has already reached out to the education officials in that region to make clear the government policy.
The children of Region 7 must be allowed back into school, as were the children of the rest of the country. I've instructed the regional education officer and advised her that and I hope that all stakeholders, including and particularly the regional council and the regional authorities, I've advised them all, and I expect that they would do all that is possible to make sure the kids get back into school. Now, schools close next week, so it may not make sense for everybody to leave where they are and come out to go to dorm schools and then go home back next week. So it might make more sense for everybody to attend in January. I want to take this opportunity again to advise, encourage, beg, plead with parents and children to get vaccinated, because while it is true that we're not going to deny anyone an education, the truth also is that because of the way dorms are made up, if any one child gets sick, it is very likely that that can spread to everyone else. But if people choose not to take the vaccine and to come to the dorm schools, then I am certain they understand the risk they're taking, and that is a choice that they can make. So I want to reiterate, the vaccine is not mandatory and children will not be denied an education. And this applies, and I'm speaking specifically about Region 7, this applies across the country.
Schools in Guyana were allowed to reopen their doors for face-to-face learning back in October as the government rolled out a vaccination campaign for students. However, the Education Ministry allowed schools to set their own individual programs for the return to in-person learning. Some high schools have continued virtual learning for students in the lower forms, while allowing those in Forms 4 and 5 to return to the classrooms. In the case of nursery and primary schools, many of them have put a rotation system in place for various classes to host in-person sessions. Municipal news report now. The cash-strapped Georgetown City Council is seeking to recover billions of dollars owed in taxes by implementing a 4-month amnesty period for defaulters. The municipal amnesty policy seeks to target those citizens and businesses that continue to default in their tax obligations to the city. Under the new policy, they can avoid court action by reaching an agreement with the City Council for the payment of the taxes. The amnesty period runs until the 31st of March next year. The initiative is being overlooked by the Special Circumstances Committee of the City Council, which is headed by Deputy Mayor Alfred Mentor and includes the City Treasury Department. The new policy was birthed during a meeting of the Georgetown City Council and has since been approved by Mayor Ubraj Narayan. It came out of a discussion with the Council's Finance Committee, which examined various ways to get city residents and businesses to pay up their taxes.
The purpose of this policy, the policy statement, the Mayor and City Council, the municipal amnesty policy, is to establish and maintain orderly procedure for ratepayers who will receive pardons on percentage on their tax liability, and for the council to receive outstanding taxes in the form of an agreement that can benefit citizens, organizations, and the council. This policy is geared to focus on the accrued interests and not the principle or the demand of the tax account.
The committee, which will overlook the policy, is also putting together a payment plan for those who may wish to pay off their taxes over an agreed period of time. The mayor warned that the city council will have no other choice than to take court action against the defaulters who ignore the amnesty while continuing to dodge payments.
Any person, individual, corporation, company, trust, or partnership who fails to take advantage of this amnesty and also fail to pay his or her outstanding rates shall be subject to parent execution proceedings instituted by the town clerk as provided in the Municipal and District Council Act 2801, Section 222.
Based on information from the Georgetown City Council Finance Department, more than $9 billion is owed to the City Council in taxes. The Council currently receives just over 50% of taxes owed. Deputy Mayor Alfred Mentor said once the taxes are collected, the City Council will be in a better position to improve the services it offers to its citizens.
It will obviously benefit our citizenry, but while it also benefits the citizenry, it will also boost our revenue and increase our revenue to be able to do more for citizenry, more developmental work, more infrastructure work. And at the end of the day, you all know that we do have to get some subventions from central government, but as long as we could be able to pull this situation off and to increase our revenue and bring it to something that makes sense, even we had 50 to 55, maybe we reach 75% of our revenue. We'll be able to function more professionally and be able to do the work necessary for the citizenry.
The Georgetown City Council has been facing major issues with tax collection for decades. The business community in Georgetown represents the largest group of defaulters to the municipality. The Alliance for Change, which is one of the partners in the APNU-AFC coalition, has lambasted the PP civic government over the arrests of former Finance Minister Winston Jordan and the plan to file charges against him in relation to the sale of war facilities by the former government to local contracting company BK International. The AFC described the actions of the police as unlawful and vulgar, adding that the arrest of Jordan has cemented the position that the Pacific regime is now a naked dictatorship. Jordan was arrested yesterday morning after being invited to the headquarters of the Special Organized Crime Unit for questioning about the sale under the former government of the war facilities that was leased to BK since 2006. The sale of the war facilities actually started back in 2013, but got entangled in a court matter that came to an end in 2017, clearing the way for the sale. Soko's position is that the facility was sold to BK at a value below its market price, and for that, it intends to charge a minister who signed the vesting order for the sale for misconduct in public office. In its statement today, the Alliance for Change noted that the arrest of the former finance minister comes just weeks after the vice president publicly chided Soko for its sloth in investigations against former government officials. According to the AFC, the nation needs to be reminded that Winston Jordan was at all material times a gazetted minister with responsibility for finance within the President David Granger constitutionally appointed cabinet of ministers, and ministers operate under the doctrine of collective responsibility and are answerable to the National Assembly of the Parliament. The AFC said at all times Minister Jordan acted within the strict perimeters of the Constitution and Financial Management and Accountability Act, and no decision was personal or without the approval of the Cabinet. The Alliance for Change noted that to charge and prosecute a former minister for taking actions pursuant to a decision of Cabinet is vulgar, abusive, unlawful, and unconstitutional. Similar charges were found against another former government minister, Dr. George Norton, a few months ago. But those charges were withdrawn by the Director of Public Prosecutions because the issue was also based on a cabinet decision. An investigation by the Guyana Revenue Authority into the discovery of more than 1,100 pounds of cocaine in a rum shipment from Guyana has revealed that when the shipment left Guyana, there were only boxes of rum in the container, according to the GRA. The cocaine bust took place in the Netherlands. In a statement today, the Revenue Authority said the rum shipment was scanned in Guyana according to the stipulated procedures, and no contraband or prohibited or restricted substances were detected among the rum cargo when scanned. According to the GRA, the consignment was shipped to the Netherlands through another Caribbean territory, where it was offloaded and remained for a period before it was loaded onto another vessel destined for the Netherlands, where the discovery was made. The GRA said through joint enforcement and intelligence activities with the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit and other local and foreign law enforcement bodies, it enforced a system of rigid controls that reduces the probability of narcotic substances being exported or transshipped through Guyana's ports. The process, the GRA said, allows for simultaneous viewing of the scanned images by officers of the sister agencies and backup checks prior to shipping. GRA said the images are stored and backed up at various sites, reducing the likelihood of a repeat of the deletion of images. The agency also noted that it is continuing to work along with other agencies in and out of Guyana as the probe continues. The Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit has also indicated that based on its own investigations and review of the scanned images, the cocaine must have been placed in the shipment after it left Guyana. After containers are scanned locally, they are placed at a assigned wharf for loading onto the vessels. While at the wharves, the security of the containers becomes the responsibility of the operators of the wharf facilities. A container could be stored on a wharf for several days after scanning before being loaded on the vessels for export. Over 20 small businesses owned by Afro-Guyanese showcased their locally made products today with the hosting of a market day at the Coffee Square. The business owners are hoping to bring more awareness to their products in an effort to expand production and get the products more readily available on the local market. Today's event was hosted by the International Decade for People of African Descent Assembly, Guyana. It featured craft, food, clothing items, and other handmade materials and products. Community Development Officer and Public Relations Team Leader at the organization, Elsie Harry, said today's initiative is part of the effort to create a platform for African Guyanese businesses.
Now, Ujama is the fourth principle of Kwanzaa, and it means cooperative economics. So we have created here a platform for African Guyanese businesses to showcase their products and to secure some sales for the Christmas season, and hopefully to secure lifetime customers for their businesses.
Ms. Harry also noted noted that the initiative intends to showcase and celebrate African businesses throughout the year and to ensure that families continue to benefit from their small business efforts.
Rather than waiting for one time a year to have an event, we seek as much as possible all throughout the year to have various events that persons can benefit from. Usually, most of those events are capacity building, as well as we're an agency that links our clients to funding opportunities, as well as support their projects within their communities. And so this is just one in a series of events that we usually have throughout the year, and this particular one is new because it's the first time we're doing it, so we're always innovating for our community.
Some of the vendors said they are thankful for the opportunity and look forward to other similar events being hosted.
Every night I used to work at a different business place, but because of COVID, I cannot get out there as much, right? So I had to turn to something, because you know, you got bills to pay and what's not, right? So I started doing these stuff, okay? So that's why I'm still a DJ. I still do 1 and 2, but I fall to this.
You just gotta keep the faith and you gotta keep pushing. I mean, sales has declined, but you gotta think positive. You gotta think positive.
There are also calls for the initiative to be taken to different parts of the country. Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobile Special and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
I'm feeling it. You know it? That Christmassy feeling? Friend, I'm ready for everything. All the decorations and lights. Bring on all the Christmas goodness. And I heard GTT is giving away millions in cash and prizes for the season. It just doesn't get any better. Multiple draws, multiple chances to win, live radio giveaways of cash, grocery vouchers, phone credit, and more. Free data, free calls, and free accessories with the purchase of every handset. Sign up, top up, pay any GTT bill or purchase a handset to get a chance to celebrate with GTT and MMG. Together we celebrate, together we win. GTT, together we rise.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyoil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyoil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
A Across the region tonight, the government of incoming Honduran President Jamora Castro does not plan to establish diplomatic ties with China, as it prioritizes U.S. relations, a high-ranking ally of Castro said yesterday, signaling a reversal of her pre-election stance. Before Sunday's presidential election, which Castro appears to have won by a large margin and her main rival conceded, she said she was open to starting formal relations with China. That would have been a blow to Honduras' long-standing diplomatic ally, Taiwan, which China views as a renegade province. Honduras, with a population of just under 10 million, is one of a shrinking club concentrated in Central America and the Caribbean that maintains relations with a US-backed Taiwan. Castro's pledge on China relations had prompted diplomatic jostling between Beijing and Washington, as each seeks to exert influence on the Central American nation. Salvador Narezla, the runner-up to the Honduran presidential election in 2017, who is set to become one of Castro's 3 vice presidents, told the Reuters news agency that any relations with China had to be weighed against ties with the U.S. When asked if Honduras would establish relations with China, the incoming vice president said no. A man carrying a fully loaded gun boarded a commercial flight in Barbados and flew all the way to Miami with a firearm in the plane's cabin. That's according to NBC6 investigators. It's a hair-raising incident that triggered an immediate investigation by the U.S. Transport Security Administration. In security video footage obtained by NBC6 investigators, airline passenger Cameron Hines is seen being stopped at a Miami airport checkpoint after TSA officers found a loaded handgun in his belongings. According to the Miami-Dade police report, Hines' revolver had 5.32 caliber rounds in the gun's chamber. He told the police that when he boarded the plane in Barbados, he had a revolver in his pants pocket. That failure in screening abroad has put federal security experts into high alert. And tonight, the Barbados Prime Minister is promising a full investigation. This video from Barbados Today. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security relies on foreign governments to maintain aviation security standards at the last point of departure airports with direct commercial flights to the United States. Hines made his journey from Bridgetown, Barbados to Miami on an American Airlines flight. And finally tonight, international news. The WHO says the world should not panic about a new Omicron variant of COVID-19, but it should prepare. Speaking at the news conference today, top WHO scientist Sumaya Swaminathan said the situation now was very different to a year ago. Reports suggest Omicron has been found in close to 40 countries. It is still unclear if the highly mutated variant is more transmissible or better able to evade vaccines. Early data reported by scientists in South Africa, where the variant was first detected, suggests Omicron may evade some immunity to COVID-19, although experts caution the analysis is not definitive. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to have a safe and enjoyable weekend.